I think there's an understanding, like some women believe whatever it is you do out in the street, you do in the street. Just don't let it come home. Yeah, okay. Until it comes home, wrapped up in a box, surrounded by venereal diseases. Okay? All day. Oh, my life, Well, hello there, love bugs. Hello there, Bellas. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share to Facebook, subscribe, and tip your favorite narrator via Cash App at $NayRob on YouTube. And if you are not already a part of this book club, please hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube. And for a small monthly fee of $5, you babies, yes, you, can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Now, before we get started on our book, listen, guys, I don't know why we're not getting the views on this book, because this is a good book. Seriously, good book. I have no idea. Now, I've heard some people's frustrations with the book about how basically Ray Charles was just talking about all the women he was knocking down throughout his lifetime. Yes, that's true. But at the same time, he's also giving us the dirt in regards to his addictions while creating the music. So it's a pretty good book. I like it. I don't get it. Maybe YouTube is on one and just deciding not to push my video out. For those of you who are paying members, I really do appreciate you all, because when I'm not getting the views, I can always depend on your membership. Thank you. Love you. Yeah, girl, when I tell you I love that girl, Bella so south, baby. Anyway, y'all, let's continue reading. Brother Ray. In 1964, the Shaw Agency was looking to see how I'd be accepted with the public around the country. I was a so-called artist now. I had my little songs out. Nothing as big as Mama, He Treats Your Daughter Mean. But I did have Mess Around, and it should have been me. And Funny, But I Still Love You, and Heartbreaker. I Got a Woman hadn't come out quite yet. Strange thing about my hits, I never tried for them. They happened or they didn't. I've never consciously made a single, for example, with a hit side in mind and then a backup side. Naturally, I wanted each tune I did to be a hit, and I liked each song I recorded, or I wouldn't have sung it. When a record reached the stores and when we played at dances and clubs, I started seeing the reaction, and I concentrated on those numbers everyone seemed to like best. To this day, I haven't really understood why some music clicks while other stuff just dies as far as the public goes. Somewhere in the middle of the 50s, the pace started to pick up, and often it got furious. We were running from town to town without time to catch our breath. There was also something frantic about our music. We were playing a lot of dances in this period, and as a result, a lot of things could explode in our faces. Some cat steps on another dude's foot without apologizing, and boom, a fight. And when fights started, the joint might erupt, and everyone starts swinging just for the hell of it. One day in Daytona, Florida, the action got pretty wicked. A fight started, and a woman who was sitting right in front of me stood up to leave. Just at that instant, she got clobbered by a bottle. Next thing I knew, her blood was flowing all over me and my piano. Not a pretty sight. That's crazy. Somebody got to tell him what's happening. Somebody's got to go to him and say, Ray, it's blood all over you. Somebody just popped the lady in her head with a bottle and her blood is all over you, Ray. It's a massacre in here, Ray. People say don't speak it into existence, but what I'm telling you is my vision is horrific. Horrific. Like my numbers, let me tell you how bad my vision is. No matter how bad these ophthalmologists and optometrists try, they can never correct my vision to 2020. It will always be either 2060 or 2040. When I married B is Kerry Washington's character. I was 24 or 25. And I'd been fooling around for years. Don't want to be bragging, but the simple truth is that my relationships had been many. Being a musician and a jive-ass celebrity meant that I was exposed to girls every night. That was all right. But I was beginning to want something better. A sweeter, more sensible life. Yeah, that's funny. So the first girl, his first baby mother, wasn't mentioned at all in Ray the movie. At all. Okay? Now, he went through the bitches. I let my girlfriends know B was now my woman. That we were together. So please not to contact me. I made a point of getting in touch with the ones in Dallas and Houston. Don't forget, Ray moved B from Houston to Dallas because he didn't want that same situation that happened with Louise to happen with B. I didn't want them to call the house. I didn't want them to send me letters. I told B, this is my part of the dresser. These are my drawers. That's your part over there. Those drawers are yours. Let's respect each other's privacy. If one of those seals has a crack and something gets through, I want you to know that it won't be my doing. In other words, whatever comes to this house, don't open it up. Unless it's like a bill that needs to be paid, don't touch it. It belongs to me. So Ray Charles is already setting the precedence of niggatry. Girl, mind your business. And B, being her, a good Christian woman, she gonna mind her business. I think there's an understanding. You know, like some women believe whatever it is you do out in the street, you do in the street. Just don't let it come home. Yeah, okay. Until it comes home. You know, wrapped up in a box, surrounded by venereal diseases. Okay? Or a baby. So we had an understanding. The past was the past. We put all our chips on the present. A year or so after we were married, Ray Jr. was born. The pregnancy wasn't easy. When little Ray was born, I was out of town playing a gig somewhere in Texas. A couple of days later, I come home. I'd see my son. He said that he was acting so scared to hold his baby. And then after a while, he got himself together, you know, because they be so little and you don't want to drop them. When my sister had my nephew, I wasn't scared to hold it because it belonged to me. I mean, not me. I didn't push it out, but it was mine. My nephew was mine. I wasn't scared to hold my niece because it was mine. That was my baby. By the time he was 2 or 3 months old, I got over my fear and slowly I got into playing with him and roughing him around. He liked that as much as I liked being Papa. And B was happy too. B and I had a good 12 or 13 years of marriage. Sometimes when I think about it, I'm surprised that we managed that long. The pressures on us both were very heavy, and yet we endured them for a long spell. When we were together, we were together. I give her a great deal of credit for putting up with me and my strange ways. She may have thought my touring was going to be something like she had done with Cecil Shaw, where they'd go out for a week or two and then be home for a couple of months, but that wasn't the case with me and my band in 1950. Remember in the movie, that's how they met. Ray Charles was on the radio. Who's your favorite gospel singer? Cecil Shaw. B called up there, hey, I work for Cecil Shaw. Do you want me to hook up connect? And now Ray Charles over there feeling her wrist, stroking her face. What a lovely thing of beauty it is. I needed every gig I could get. If I was playing Chicago for 1 or 2 nights, I might not have another job for a week or 2. But I still couldn't jump in the car and race down to Dallas. There wasn't enough time, and the bread wasn't there. So B waited back home in our little house on 2642 Eugene Street. She worried, I'm certain, and the hurt must have been painful and long-lasting. The other tremendous burden on her was my drug habit. When we were first married, she didn't know about it. I never told my wife, Eileen, and I didn't see any need to tell B either. I would have just upset her. And besides, I've always seen dope as a private matter. B and I spent more time together than I had spent with Eileen or Louise. And in 54 and 55, I was doing more dope than I did in 48 and 49. It wasn't long before she discovered what I was up to. I can't remember how. Could be that she found something unusual in the bathroom, like a cotton ball laying in a burnt spoon. Something left there by one of my partners who had come over to give me a fix. But whatever it was, I know she didn't like it. My life was what it was. Whatever it became, I made it so. Now I had a wife, I had a child. I was the leader of a little band. I was a blues singer and a rhythm and blues singer, or whatever the hell they were calling me. A recording artist of modest stature. I was also a man who still loved women and who enjoyed getting high. I began writing more and more tunes, not usually out of inspiration, but out of necessity. I needed material to record, and I needed stuff which suited me. Jerry and Ahmet would send me songs, but often I didn't like them, so I'd work up something of my own. That's how most of my hits came to be written. In 1954, Jerry and Ahmet came down to Atlanta since I didn't have any dates around New York, and I made my first recording with a band of my own. That's when we get to I Got a Woman Way Over Town. That's good to me.